Hey there, I need your help. I'm launching a new show on golf, travel, food, and culture over on YouTube, and I want you to be a part of it. Please visit letsplaythrough.com. That's THRU, letsplaythrough.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Our trailer launches next week, and I want you to be there. I'll see you on YouTube. Here's this week's show.
Welcome to Private Club Radio, your weekly source for industry education, news and discussion. Broadcasting from Tampa, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host, Gabriel Aloisi.
Hey, I'm fresh back from my adventures over to Hammock Beach in Orlando while I was shooting the new show, Let's Play Through. Last week, we were able to cut the trailer to the show, and we will release that trailer on September 4th. I've done a lot of things. I've created a lot of content, whether it's this show, books, in my previous life as a filmmaker and marketer and graphic designer. And man, let me tell you, this is the best thing I've ever produced. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. And I've shown it to a few folks in the industry, some really key figures, people that have been on this show, and all the influencers in the private club industry. And overwhelmingly, people seem to love it. And I really hope you will too. So please do subscribe, letsplaythrough.com. And if you are interested in being part of the launch team, which simply means that you are going to help us promote it by sharing it on social media, I'd love for you to contact me. And I will give you a sneak peek at the trailer before anyone else sees it, and then just simply ask you to share that on September 4th. It would really help me out. And more so than that, it would help out our industry, because my goal with this show is to shine a new spotlight on golf and also the private club industry. And if I can put more millennial eyeballs on our game, and if I can put more families' eyeballs on our game, then we will all win in the end. And so I need your help as a listener of this show. We've got a really fun guest coming on today from the National Club Association. We'll be featuring Joe Trauger. He is the new Vice President of Government Relations at the National Club Association. He's going to come on and we're going to learn a little bit about Joe. And he's also going to tell us about a really exciting bill that's in Congress right now called the PHIT Act, that the NCA and some other key organizations are working on, that is going to benefit your members in a big, big way. And Joe is just an all-around nice guy. So without further ado, here is Club Perspectives.
And now, it's time for Club Perspectives, presented by the National Club Association.
Welcome to Club Perspectives, presented by the National Club Association. And today I'm joined by the new Vice President of Government Relations for the NCA, Joe Trauger. Joe, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, Gabe. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for those that don't know about you, I'd love to talk a little bit about your background and your love of the private club industry, Joe.
Sure. Well, I come to the National Club Association. I've been here for 4 months now, and prior to joining up with NCA, I started my own consulting firm, and prior to that, I've been working with some other trade associations, air conditioning, heating, and the National Association of Manufacturers, among others. And have about 10 years of experience on Capitol Hill. Worked on the Senate side for 5 years, and also worked in House leadership for the Majority Leader and the Majority Whip for about 4 years. So been in Washington for about 25 years, and continue to work in the advocacy side of the business, and just really happy to be part of the National Club Association, and I've been on the board of directors of Mount Vernon Country Club here in Alexandria, Virginia for 5 years. This is my 5th year, and I'm currently serving as president, and also served as the membership committee chairman in a very challenging time for the club. The course was actually closed my first year as membership chairman, but
That's tough,
we took some time to make some changes, and we're seeing the success of that 5 years later.
That's awesome. So what's your handicap, if you don't mind me asking?
My index right now is 7.5.
All right, that's good. That's real good. Yeah. I got down to 7.5 about a year and a half ago, or before I broke my leg, and then I'm up to about a 9.5
no.
myself these days. But trying to get better.
It always, and it always goes down faster than it goes up, doesn't it?
It's true. Yeah, absolutely. That's a weird system.
Yeah, I got down to 7. I was at 9 earlier this year and had managed to get it down to 7.5. But I was
That's
actually
awesome.
down to a 5 at one point,
Wow.
about 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And I actually qualified for the national championship for the Golf Channel's amateur tour.
Really?
Back
Wow.
in 2007, I believe. And
Cool.
yeah, that was I think that was the first year that the amateur tour was going on, and I participated in it, and didn't do all that well in the championship, but you know, I gave it a run.
Sure, that's great. That's really neat. And then how about Mount Vernon? Is that if I remember right, is that Thomas Jefferson's property or James Madison?
Actually,
one of those
George
guys?
Washington.
Oh, George Washington. Okay, I knew it was one of the founding
Yes.
fathers. But is it how related is your club with that property?
We're not like formally affiliated with Mount Vernon, the estate. It is on what used to be part of the Mount Vernon, plantation or farm, the original property. So,
cool.
we're about a mile and a half as the crow flies from the mansion itself, and the president of the Mount Vernon Association is actually a member of ours, and so we do have a relationship.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember going there as a kid. I was growing up in rat infested Baltimore, and yeah, we used to take field trips, and I remember going to Mount Vernon. It was a pretty cool place.
It is wonderful, and they've done a fantastic job. If you haven't been recently, they've really expanded and made it more interactive, and it's just a great place to be.
Oh, that's cool. How about your time in the Senate? Was it Mitch McConnell? Was he the Senate Majority Leader at the time, or who was it when you were working there?
Actually, it was Bob Dole for a while, and then Trent Lott.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it was back in the mid '90s.
Right.
When
Going
I was
way back. Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah, so. I met Bob once too. He was just a really, really nice guy and genuine person. That was great. Yeah. So I know you're busy. So you're 4 months in there at the NCA, and you're busy working on some of the legislation. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know you're working on the PHIT Act, and so I'd love for you to tell our listeners what that's all about and what the NCA is doing.
Sure. Yeah, it's called the PHIT Act. It's PHIT. It's the Personal Health Investment Today Act, and it's sponsored in the Senate by Senator John Thune from South Dakota, and in the House it's sponsored by Ron Kine from Wisconsin, Democrat, and on the Ways and Means Committee. And the legislation is really meant to kind of shift a little bit of the focus, of the healthcare dollar. To allow people to invest in their fitness, as opposed to always investing in your sickness. And what it would do is it would allow people who have a health savings account to spend, as an individual, up to $1,000 a year, or as a couple, $2,000 a year to pay for fitness-related activities and or equipment. And like I said, it's really meant to shift the focus to allow people to invest in their own health and prevention and wellness, as opposed to always investing in sickness.
Right.
So it's something that the National Club Association is behind. It doesn't allow people to pay their membership dues with health savings account dollars, but it would allow folks to, pay for training, lessons, tournament fees, that kind of thing, and also some equipment. Things like, even golf shoes would probably be eligible, and even some of the equipment. So
wow,
it's a good piece of legislation, and it's something that we're behind 100% and trying to get across the goal line. The House of Representatives actually passed the bill last year, and unfortunately, that version actually specifically excluded golf. But the version as it's written right now that we're pushing for, it's inclusive. So we're behind it, and we're talking with folks up on the Hill and trying to get that passed.
That sounds like it would be great for private club members out there. And I assume, obviously, even if it doesn't work for golf, the tennis facilities and the fitness facilities that clubs are building would be covered in that.
Yeah, it would. And again, it wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to pay for membership dues or initiation fees or anything like that at private clubs. That's specifically
Sure.
Prohibited within the legislation. But there is benefit that members of private clubs would receive as a result of it. So
maybe you could pay for your personal trainer or your workout equipment and things like that.
Right, and it's also an opportunity for parents who whose kids are involved with sports to be able to offset some of those costs. Which can be, pretty hefty over the course of a year, for their kids to participate in fitness activities, organized sports, those types of things. So it's a win-win for everybody, and it's something that we're trying to get passed.
So for folks who don't really know how Washington D.C. works, what do you do on a day-to-day basis in order to help get some of this legislation passed? Are you going right up the Capitol steps and walking into some of these senators and House Representatives, Congress people's offices? Are you having conversations with them? Are they how does this all work exactly for someone who doesn't know?
Sure. Well, it's really a combination of things. There's definitely the sort of shoe leather lobbying, which you talked about being up on the Capitol steps. That's definitely a key part of it. But a lot of it is just relationship building and networking, and so there's a lot of emails and texts and checking in with folks and seeing if we can get them to sign up as a co-sponsor of legislation and or send a letter to a chairman in support of a particular bill or things like that.
Right.
We also have at the National Club Association a political action committee. It's called Club PAC. And what that's really part of any successful government relations program, and what that does is we raise money through the Club PAC, and we contribute to federal candidates, and that's really just a great opportunity to be able to get in front of a member and be able to talk about the things that private clubs care about.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Who else is supporting that legislation? What other organizations are getting involved in addition to the NCA for the PHIT Act?
So the Sports Fitness Industry Association is really kind of the spearhead of the coalition, if you will. But it's a wide-ranging coalition, and we're trying to build that out and be a part of it.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Joe. Well, let's move the conversation more towards the NCA, and you talked about Club PAC. For clubs out there that are considering joining the NCA, what would you say would be a good reason to join the NCA as a private club out there?
I mentioned earlier on that I served as the membership chairman for my club, Mount Vernon Country Club, and I think what you're trying to do as a membership chair or as a private club is really sort of build a community and have a community of folks who are interested in the same things. And as much as being a member of a private club is being part of a community, I think a private club being part of and a member of the National Club Association is really to be a part of the larger community of clubs. And as we all know, we're all stronger and more effective when we come together as a community. So, I view that as very much similar to building the membership of a private club, and that's what we're trying to do here at the National Club Association is build that community of private clubs so that we can be more effective and have a stronger voice here in Washington and throughout the states.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I invite all of our listeners to check out what the National Club Association is doing by visiting their website, nationalclub.org. Just wonderful communications that come out of there, wonderful education, and of course, folks like Joe who are going to bat for this industry on Washington in the Capitol for us. So, Joe, really appreciated the chat. Can't wait to have you on more of these. Club Perspective episodes. And thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Private Club Radio. And one last little plug before I let you go. You've probably heard Justin Baer, founder of Member Text, on a previous episode here on PCR. And if you haven't done so yet, you need to check out that technology. If you want to communicate better with your members and with your staff, Member Text can help you do that. It's simply membertext.net. That's the website. Go check it out. I'll catch you back here next week on Private Club Radio. And until then, here's to your membership success.
Private Club Radio is brought to you by Concert Golf Partners, helping to preserve and enhance private golf and country clubs. Concert Golf has the capital, expertise, and private club hospitality experience to help upscale private clubs achieving long-term success and membership growth. For 25 years, Concert Golf has allowed private club members to focus on simply enjoying their club. Visit concertgolfpartners.com to learn more about the recapitalization process.